Characters, in order of appearance. Stage manager. The discreet charm of good management describes a good manager. The audience, implied. Marcia Van Dyke. Without the Ivory Girls? Camera. Is it still scabies? A neighbor of mine. A representative and an alternate view. Boris Johnson. If you take an evening walk and can't help but glance into people's open windows, you'll see him on a TV. A letting agent. A facilitator through which an agreement is made. You. Here. A perspective. Sound. Although it may not always be easy, they must be distinguished from words. Open letter. A sound. Mary, from the script of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, 1960. Her name is Marion in the film. Carrie, the title character from Brian De Palma's 1976 film. Tom Kite, a partner at Comfort Lettings, an established lettings business based in Nottingham, and Daniel Barea, Right Move's data analyst and market expert. Pickup, a condition of use. Miss Collins, the gym teacher from Brian De Palma's 1976 film. Audiences, the same audience as before, plus more. Synopsis. The point is, the performance is impossible within the set parameters, but it goes on trying to right itself because it is invested in production as a naturalized process that will inevitably spread. At some point, things will start to return to normal, so we want the overall message to be a positive one. Setting. It is the beginning of an outbreak and the stage manager, off stage, cries,
"Business as usual."
We all say,
"Thank you, business."
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 The audience organizes in a plurality of group chats and open letters. Marcia Van Dyke turns to the camera and is body checked by her boyfriend.
Business as usual.
The audience sells off their Procter & Gamble stock. A neighbor of mine thinks it's cute how Boris, off stage, says,
I flatten the curve.
And pats the inevitable curve with his hands as he does. Maybe it looks like he's nudging ahead below camera. Stage direction. What audience does this hail?
Business as usual.
Stage direction. Are the audience stand-ins? Who are these people?
These are uncertain times for all of us, and renters are no exception.
Stage direction. Nervous audience hands weave hair into braids. A letting agent gestures toward the shower. Stage direction. We all wait for you to get in. Stage direction. But instead, you could just sit on a yoga mat. It's mine, laid out on the floor between the desk and the shower, facing the bed. You could make your hands into the prayer emoji shape and activate your elbows. It's quite necessary to do this every day in order to feel okay. Stage direction. Beside the bed, the camera now moves away over to the window and looks up to the house. And as it gets there, we hear, coming from within the house, the sound.
For a moment, I've stopped making beautiful notes, and so I forget which thoughts are uniquely mine.
Setting. Work. The studio apartment is a failure of collectivity. It's our failure, and it's mine.
When single, I have to consume all of my time alone and also be the camera watching myself do it. It is a lot to stomach.
Camera follows away from the body, travels slowly across the bathroom, past the toilet, out into the bedroom.
I have to floss my teeth alone. That's how I mark them mine.
As camera approaches the bed, we see the folded up newspaper as Mary placed it on the bedside table.
I also must open the curtains to let the sunlight in. I do this to put off the formation of mold. Like lots of flats in England, probably. Mine is quite damp, but maybe especially so because of the shower. Anyway.
Stage direction, and she looks at Carrie. Her anger seems to seep away. Her voice softens.
Maybe a grad student will come along in the future and hate a thing I've made in a way that looks like love. How else do I explain the portions of my day spent searching for the model of sewing machine featured in Carrie, 1976?
Setting. The idea of posing for the camera. How to keep I want this from becoming autocratic or unrigorous? Carrie looks down and wails. The sound is very loud.
It's an antique white brand sewing machine, selected, I guess, for its name, which is the same as Carrie's surname, likely made in 1929. It serves important functions throughout the plot, not least when Carrie uses it to sew her pink prom dress. Her mother, played by Piper Laurie, famously insisted on saying she might have known it would be red.
Stage direction. There is still a small worry in her eyes, but generally she looks somewhat relieved. Open letter, as Carrie looks at her.
In all shower scenes, being viewed, seen, is important. Does it happen as a kind of visual eavesdropping? One of my 4 walls is all windows. It's really nice. I thrive on light. But it's also how I see myself to be seen, perhaps especially in the shower. These windows are my best opportunity to perform being a good subject for an audience of authority, my landlord.
A letting agent whispers to camera, his face lit by candlelight.
It looks everything.
He looks over his shoulder to make sure no one is there. We are also joined by Tom Kite, partner at Comfort Lettings, an established lettings business based in Nottingham, and Daniel Brea, Right Moves data analyst and market expert.
I am embarrassed by the dream in which you returned to me to be mine.
I am embarrassed by the dream in which you returned to me to be mine.
We pick up Miss Collins as she steps among the girls, spies Carrie still standing under the shower. She claps her hands together once, smartly.
All of her plot outlines have me leaving her and coming back, returning to you, because the audience won't buy a rejection of the happy American family.
I haven't always kept watch of all these hands on my knee.
Stage direction. The final scare in the movie chilled audiences to the core.
I remember you imagining your hands in dirt.
Stage direction. She won the role of Carrie, hands down.
The final scare is presumably Carrie's fist coming out of the gravel that covers the collapsed White House to grab Sue Snell's wrist, just as she leaves flowers under the cross. It's a jump scare through which I might reach out to you.